Hello and a very warm welcome to the Real Talk. How are you doing and how was your week? As always, it is a pleasure to have your company on the show. Please go to Rwanda Television YouTube channel. We are live there. Get to share that link so that we have as many people as possible catching the conversation. I have a very interesting guest. I have no doubt you're going to love this interview. Now, we are coming to you live from Mythos Boutique Hotel in Kiyovu. If you have a small event or a lunch meeting, visit them in Kiyovu. They will be at your service. My name is Jackie Lumbasi. Let's meet the guest. It is such a pleasure to have a sit down with you, Dimitrie.
Thank you, Jackie.
How was your day?
Very busy.
Very busy, eh? You have a busy day.
Yeah.
You know, a friend of mine told me it's always good to start with how was your day, because you never know. Sometimes you get into the conversation and somebody had something to say about the day. So good to know that yours was busy. And busy is good, eh? You're not complaining,
sure.
I'm sure. Great.
It's very busy, but I'm happy. Wonderful.
For those who don't know Dimitrie Sissi, she is an author. She's a motivational speaker. When you're wondering, so author, what book? The book is Do Not Accept to Die. Such a heavy title. And we'll get to know why that title, why the book, and so much more about Dimitrie. But first and foremost, let's go back to where it all started. Take us back to that place where Dimitrie was born, where your life started.
Thank you, Jackie, for having me. It's a big pleasure and honor to be with you today. So Dimitrie Sissi is a young girl in Kibagabaga, where I was born, and I grew up with, with my family, a very happy family with many siblings, a big cohort of cousins, and that was.
How many siblings?
7.
7?
7, yes.
How many girls? How many boys?
3 boys and 4 girls.
Were you the last one?
In girls.
In girls.
I was the last
girl. There's something in you that shows you're the last one.
Yes,
so I thought it was last, but last among the girls.
I had a young brother.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was the last girl and I had a young brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was it, what was the family tradition that you can remember as growing up as children? We would go to church, we would visit relatives. What is that you recall from that period? Yeah,
being actually the last girl, I was always, cared for, happy, and we grew up with the tradition of being very Catholic, having masses and church services at home, in our home, but also having a lot of cousins and family relatives away. So in our family, every holidays from school was to go to see them in the very far. And we enjoyed going far, we enjoyed spending time with our cousins outside Kigali, There was no car, there was no transport, walking like 7 hours with a basket of fruits to see your auntie. So it was always good to visit people, but also we were a family of fun, having, we liked being together, dancing, singing, it was always, I have never been alone, Even today, I don't like being alone. So I was always surrounded by people, happy people, creating memories. Actually, those memories are making us today.
They're the ones that keep you going.
Yeah, sure.
And then talk to us about joining primary school. How were your school days? And did you study up country or was it in Kigali?
Yeah. Primary school was in Kigali because we actually at our time we used to go to the nearest school, primary school from your home, and you had to wait until we turned 7 years. So turning 7 years old was a very big event for you because you go to school.
Yeah. You wouldn't have nursery?
No. There wasn't. That is not yesterday, Jackie.
Oh, that's okay. I'm forgetting.
I have never seen a nursery school during my primary school. There wasn't.
So I think my generation followed yours closely, and we had nursery.
No, for
so
us,
we do nursery at 7, we'd be going to class 1.
No, for us, you go to school at 7.
And
before 7, you can't go. You are not allowed. So that is actually a good thing for me, because before 7, you are at home, you have your mom, you are learning to do domestic work. you are happy, you know. So the time when you go to school,
So you
because
didn't feel, yeah, you didn't feel like you missed
no,
anything.
nothing. You don't
There were
cry.
things you were learning at home, you don't cry.
Yeah, you don't,
Yeah.
you don't miss home because you know you have seen everything. You have spent time with your parents, especially your mother. Because our mothers at that generation, anyone worked, so it was housewives. So to take care of your kids, teach him or her how to do things, you know, have time with, send her to sleep in the afternoon, take a nap, my daughter, you know,
You
teach
go to
her
the
how.
shamba, you go with them.
All of that I miss.
Yeah.
I wish our kids can have the same, but
I
it's
agree
not
with
possible.
you.
So I started my primary school at 7, of course. You know, it's a big event to have uniforms, school uniforms, to go to school, to learn how to deal with people, strangers, but also how to now like school, you know, order. Teacher said, you don't do this, then you don't do this. I was very happy in my primary school. Then it was in Kiwagabaga. After that, I moved to the Mera Catholic. That is the place where we call Rwahama today. So it added some more kilometers to walk. But it was good.
You used to walk to school?
Yeah, everyone walked to school. Everyone.
Yeah,
Even teachers, there was no bus,
even teachers.
even teachers.
Yeah.
So it was a happy childhood, a happy memories in primary school.
So you mentioned helping around at home and being taught house chores. I'm wondering, in your family, when your mom would be teaching you these house chores, would she combine both the boys and the girls, or was there work for boys and work for the girls at home?
Definitely there was works for girls and for boys.
Yes.
Yeah, and then she would
It was very clear.
Yes, it was very clear. She would tell me like, go clean this compound because your brother is going to fetch water. So that is
you wouldn't
clearly
fetch water.
I could also go,
Yeah.
but when I'm tired, when there is sun or big, it's at some time in the day, said, no, you wash the dishes.
Yes.
Your brother goes to fetch water or take the cows to the, you know, outside. So it has been always clear their jobs, something for the division of labor was clearly
It was very
made.
clear. Yeah. And then secondary?
Secondary, I went up country in Byumba first. Byumba is Gicumbi district today.
Yeah.
And that was also another history because you of course getting.
How was that for you?
Of course, getting a place, a school to go is already a success story at your home, at your village, in your family.
It shows you
So
passed your
everyone they
exams.
come to celebrate, you know, to celebrate with you, and then some people volunteer to go with you, to take the bus with you. And my goodness, for that time, taking a bus from Kigali to Gicumbi will take like 7 hours.
So if somebody offered to escort you, that would be
the
a very important
cousins, the
person.
sisters, they come with you to see where they are putting you.
Yeah.
Then they go back. And you feel like, okay, so I'm grown up, I'm going to stay here. And, you know, it was good.
Yeah, it was good. You
Make
made
new
some
friends.
Yes.
Yeah, get used to the new timetable, wake up at 5 a.m., then you go, you know, you are meant to share the bathroom, you know, to start queuing.
Was it a
and
mixed
time
school
management.
or a girls' only
Girls'
school?
school,
Girls' school.
yeah.
Catholic school?
Yeah, of course.
I also did a Catholic school.
Yeah.
My secondary school was also
I think if I go back
Catholic,
to school today, I will still do Catholic.
it would still be Catholic school, yes. The
I'm putting my
discipline there.
kids for universities. I prefer the Catholic schools.
Okay, yeah. And even their secondary, they did Catholic
No, the
as well.
secondary because they do here, no.
Yeah.
But university abroad, for me, it's Catholic. It has to be Catholic school for them to keep the
Would
discipline.
your parents visit you? Did you have, you know, visiting days are
Yeah,
important?
once in a
They're
month.
a big deal.
Yeah, once in a month. If they get tickets
They would
to
come.
come, they would come.
If they
But
didn't
already
have
by that
tickets-
time, I was already an orphan.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I lost my mom when I was 9, and then my dad when I was 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but I had big
You lost your
sisters.
mom when you were 9.
9 years.
You had just gone to school, like 2
Yes,
years after
yes, I
joining
was
school.
in P3.
We will get to that.
Yeah.
Let us go to in secondary school and you begin to understand things. What was your dream career? If you had any such thoughts.
Yes, my dream career was to be a medical doctor. That was number one, like every kid. We all, you know, everyone dreams
You either
to
want
be
to be a doctor or an engineer
Yeah, for
or
me
a
it was
teacher.
a doctor, medical doctor, first number one. The second was to be an agronome engineer in agriculture thing, because my dad was one. So for me, I was like making him happy, even if he's not here. I have to do with agriculture. So, but those two fields were scientific.
Yes.
And because I was a Tutsi, I didn't get it.
Oh,
because the discrimination
science
was
not, the discrimination was even in our
yeah,
of
well,
subjects.
yeah, I was in the subject because whatever the score you have, however smart you are, but because you're a
There's
Tutsi,
certain, yes.
we'll send it to social work.
Oh.
Because in social work, you know, it's something that you. So the first frustration is doing very good in maths. You are working hard to get it, but at the end, no.
You will not go
No,
far
no,
because
no.
there's, yes,
This is not
somebody
for
says,
you.
this is
Mhm.
not for you. This is
Yeah.
for others.
So I understood it immediately. Then I went to do social work and I did it very well. Because I was actually, even for this, it's a very big opportunity.
Yeah.
Because I was like the first one, the second one in the family
In
to
the
get
family.
it. Yeah.
So you didn't take it lightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you decided wherever they take me, I will
I will do it and
my-
I will excel.
I will
You know, I
excel.
will do it very
That
well.
was
Yeah,
it.
that is me.
Yeah.
And then my daughters later on, they say, Mama, don't worry, we do all sciences for you. So they are
so
doing
they
all the sciences for me.
That is
Yeah.
what happened. And so you did social sciences and social work.
Social work, yeah.
You did
That's what I
social
did.
work. Graduated.
Yeah.
When did you get into employment right away? How was it back then to get into employment, especially for you as a Tutsi?
Yeah, of course, it all started with the school they give you. So it's a social work. Your work will be at the hospital or to the prisons.
And would it come
Yeah.
easily? Would you struggle to get a job or would you find it waiting?
You will find it because you graduate and the next month you are employed. That
Okay.
was how it was before.
Mm.
And
And those
it
days
didn't
we
take,
still had jobs.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it was like, you have your place to go and work.
Yeah.
So if the genocide didn't happen, if we didn't see changes, I would still be working at CHK as a social worker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you move from, so what was the path that your career took?
So the genocide happened when I was in the high school last year. So we had one semester to do and complete it. So after the genocide, the government put in place one 3 months, one term
A term.
for all the high school who were finishing to go and get their diploma. So that I went. I got it in December '94, and then because before even we went back to that school, I was working in Red Cross. The Red Cross office was behind this mythos. And it was the Belgian Red Cross. So I was working there as administrative assistant. I started as a receptionist and was promoted in 1 month as administrative assistant. And the time we went in October, the time we went to school, back to school, I was like admin finance officer for the blood transfusion project.
That was
Yes,
quick.
that was a very big position.
It was. And for someone who hadn't even graduated.
That was a very big position. I had my driver and my car.
What
and
do
the
you
walkie-talkie
mean?
calling
How old
for
were you?
22.
You had your own office car, your
Everything, everything.
and a driver.
And that company, that NGO continued paying me even at school.
Even at school.
So that they don't miss me after.
And so
I
when
was
you
very
finished,
brilliant. When I finished, I went back. They even used to come and visit me
my goodness.
to see we have our stuff here, you know. And that was a big deal. And then
You were so lucky.
yeah, then I came back. I went still back into blood transfusion project. Then the Belgian Red Cross started saying, we are putting this project into Ministry of Health. So I had to have an office in CHK. And after what I saw in CHK during the genocide, I said, no, I can't deal with working in CHK. So I resigned. And when I resigned, I said, okay, I can go back to the social work thing where I did my internship. That is a center called Centre Umushumba Mwiza. It's in Nyandungu near the Nyandungu Park.
Yeah.
So I went to work there under a Canadian project.
Okay.
So for that Canadian project, I was a social worker dealing with vulnerable women around the center. So I was doing the micro project, financing them to do small projects, and then visiting them to see how they're implementing. And at some point I went in Busanza. You see Kanombe Airport? Behind there is an area called Busanza. So I went to visit one of my clients, and people said, hey, this is a Tutsi. And that was 97. They said, yeah, we see a Tutsi, we see a Tutsi. They came running
so
after
they running
me.
towards
yes,
you,
towards me, towards me, but not to say like how does it, how did she survive? And that was 97.
This was 97.
So that day, I went back to the center. I told the sister who was the director, I will never go
to
the field visit again.
Yes.
So for social workers, home visit is very important.
It is.
So then I started looking for another job, and that same Canadian people took me to the Canada embassy. So that is here, just behind, opposite my office when I was in Red Cross. So I went to work in Canadian embassy. Yes. Managing that same project, but now at the embassy.
Exactly. And no more field
and
trips.
1 year after UNDP.
1 year after UNDP.
You know, we used to have dinners, cocktail parties, because Kigali was almost empty. There were very few.
There were very few people.
So wherever they say there is a diplomatic event, we go.
You're there.
So then when you go, you meet someone who can hire you.
Exactly.
You know?
And the circle was small, so really,
Yeah.
if you're good at what you do.
And that is how I met someone who said, oh, okay, let's go to UNDP tomorrow. So I went, I did interview, they gave me a contract for 80 days because that same budget was ending in 80 days. I signed. People say, no, don't worry, 80 days, it's okay, come. So I went for 80 days.
You left your job at the embassy to go sign a contract for 8 days.
But it was UN. UN was, again, bigger than embassies, you know, bilaterals are small. So UN for me was like, wow, I have to go to the UN. Then I went.
If it's 8 days.
I did 8. Yeah, the 8 days ended. Someone else took me in another department until 04. So 8
so you
years.
Stayed at UNDP
for 8
years.
Yes, yeah.
Dimitrie. You're a blessed woman.
So then that
and you loved your time there? Was it
very much so.
Yeah, it was a good employer.
Yeah,
as
it was a good
expected.
Employer, good colleagues, you know, fun,
beautiful
reception, dinners.
No, I've told you, it's like everyone I know worked at UNDP.
Yes, you can't imagine.
Yes,
I worked with all the ministers, DGs in the UNDP. We were together.
Honestly.
On the time of Claire Kamanzi, I was there. Francis Gatare was there. Claver Gatete was there. I even used to be in the recruitment committee.
My goodness.
You know, I was...
You were a big shot.
So then, evening universities started. I went to KIST. So when I started in KIST, I was still in the UNDP, and I was about to graduate my bachelor's. And then I said, what? I can change, because I had classmates who were working at the World Bank. And for me, World Bank was again sounding bigger than UNDP.
Yes.
Yes, because for me, now it was the next destination. Yeah. I did it. I joined in January 2005 until now. Can you imagine? I'm about to retire.
Wow.
So that's my career.
And indeed, you're going to retire, because I don't think you'll find anyone bigger than World
No,
Bank.
I think I will, you know.
Since 2005,
yes,
up to date.
Yeah. So next year will be 20 years in the bank.
Next year.
And still on the same street as UNDP.
You actually haven't left the
Kiovu
area.
thing is my area. So if I have a job in Kanombe, I don't know if I will go.
You would never.
Or Kimirongo, or I don't know how to drive, not in the town. Yeah, that's it.
I love that story. We're talking to Dimitrie Sissi. When we come back, now let's talk about going back to 1994. Because the events of that time made you write this book.
Yes.
So I want us to take you to a place where you will recollect those events. This is The Real Talk. Thank you for joining us. We do appreciate you. And please send that message using the hashtag The Real Talk. Both Dimitrie and I will respond to you. If you have any questions, suggestions, send them through. We are coming to you from Mythos Boutique Hotel in Kiyovu. At Hotel Mythos is their Twitter handle. You should go to them or even check out their website and start a conversation in case you need them to host you. We'll be back. Welcome back. This is The Real Talk. My name is Jackie, and we're talking to Dimitrie. Dimitrie authored the book, Do Not Accept to Die. Let's go back to 1994.
Yes.
Dimitrie. When somebody talks of 1994 and you close your eyes, what do you see? Where exactly were you? If you remember the dates, give me those dates, give me the events as they happened.
For me, 1994 is like an end to every single thing, but again, a start of a new life. So it's like a reference a year for me that changed everything in me, you know?
Yeah.
Like I used to tell people, I wish they could have seen me before the 94, because I think I was a different person in many of aspects. Yeah. So the genocide started on a Thursday. Yeah, that same Thursday, 7th of April, I had a plan. I was going to Chiwe that same day. Chiwe is Karongi today.
Yeah.
And I was going to see my friend, Delphina, who stayed there. Her home was in Chibuye. And I was going to see her to refresh, to prepare for our final exams. You know, by then, finishing high school was a big deal. High school, we had a jury, we had a report.
You
It
know?
is no longer the same.
Well, it still is a big deal, but maybe with the celebrations changed.
Yeah, they changed.
Yeah.
Even the style of work.
Even the style, yeah.
You know, producing a
changed little
report,
bit.
then you go sit and defend your research.
You used to do
Yeah.
that. So indeed, yeah.
That was a
doesn't
big
happen
deal.
now.
It was like we need to sit down near the lake,
Yeah.
eat fish,
Yes.
swim, have fun, but also
Come
work.
discuss work.
Yes. We
Yes.
had a lot of past papers to revisit, you know, to
Yeah.
prepare. So for me, that was a plan. That was a day with, like
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yes.
If something started tonight, you
Yeah.
have a plan tomorrow. A lot of
Definitely.
plans.
Definitely. And
So-
you've decided I will be traveling at 6
Yeah.
a.m. I will leave the house.
Yes,
You've
because
told them,
traveling
you've prepared
was
the
a whole
family
day.
already.
They all knew, but
Exactly.
I will go. And that was
Yeah.
my first time in Chibuye. So
Yeah.
it was going to be a very long trip.
Yeah.
So, but we have seen the last 2 months very violent. People putting roadblocks all around, other people killing others. You know, Tutsi were like to kill. But for us, at some point, at somewhere, we could think it's not for us, ordinary citizens. You know, kind of think, this will stop on politicians. Yeah, it's sad, it's unfortunate, but
But yeah,
let's
at least
hope it is not
us.
coming to us. Ordinary people, poor and not
Yes.
known, you know.
Yeah.
So then we spent Easter all together at home. That was on Sunday. And on Monday, my other sister got sick. She was pregnant and she was admitted in the hospital here, Sehashka. So then, because I had to go to Chibuye on the Wednesday, 6th of April, I had to go see her before going. So that is what happened, and I find myself in the central city during the genocide. So,
Had you reached the hospital? to
yes,
see
I
your
was in the
sister?
hospital.
You were in the hospital?
Yes. So let me take you back on Wednesday.
Yes.
That Wednesday, we were at home with my sister Domina, the immediate grand sister, and Damas, my brother.
The brother.
So 3 of us were at home doing, you know, fun, preparing things, had lunch, and everyone had a plan in the afternoon. So Domina went to Ndera to see her friend who was traveling to Germany next day. We used to have one flight on Thursday morning connecting Kigali and Europe, and that was only one. So
Once a week.
yeah, once a week. And that was Belgian,
Yeah.
Eastern Brussels of today. It was called Sabena that time. So Domina went to see Theophile in Ndera. Me, I went to the Seashka to see my sister. And then Damas went to football at the Mera Stadium, Amahoro. You know, like all other young boys on holidays. So we went all together. We walked there. So we separated at the Mera. Everyone
yeah.
separated. And for us, the plan was to see each other at the night. That was the last time I saw them. And because we were the youngest, still at school, all others were working. So they have gone for jobs. So then, Domina went, Damas went, and I went. And I passed through my boyfriend to say hi. So the boyfriend was staying in the Remera. He took me to the park to the taxi park to take a taxi to Central Town. So then when I reached the hospital to see my sister, the husband said, "Hey, Dimitri, please, I'm tired." He has been with her since Monday. So they, "Can you please stay here for tonight?"
Let me go
and
home.
they go back home, Kimirongo, and then tomorrow morning I will make sure I come very early so that you can go. You know, I said yes.
Yeah.
He went, and he was killed on 8 in the morning. So,
Your brother-in-law,
yes, my brother-in-law.
the same one who left you in the hospital, going home to, rest and
And
he
the
was
two,
killed.
the sister and the brother also were killed. So you see, I don't know how the way there's some, just being in town saved my life.
Yeah.
That is why I will never leave town again.
Oh.
No, rural for me, no.
That is why you're stuck here.
Yeah, I'm stuck in
Because
this.
this place
I'm stuck in
saved
this
you.
city,
Stuck in this city. Stuck
So,
in the Kiovu
Kiovu area,
Shaska area.
the same roads I used
My
in that.
God.
So then I stayed, and I spent the big period of my time in Seashka, in that hospital. That one you have to read the book, because
Yeah.
if I
No
talk
doubt.
about Seashka, we won't continue
That's it.
the session.
We want- Yes.
So then after Seashka, we were evicted as Tutsis again, because at some point they wanted to make the hospital for only the army members who were injured on the front. So I came to Saint Famille, the church. So my genocide was in between places, but it ended somehow at the church, Saint Famille. So from Saint Famille, we were transferred to RPF secured zone. That was on 15th of June.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
94.
imagine you were alone, no sibling, and your parents were not there
Yes.
with you.
Because we were at some point, even with the sisters, we were separated. Yeah, but she survived.
She survived.
Yeah, like I did.
Yeah. So you stayed at Saint Famille the whole time? No, at the RPF.
Seashka.
Yes.
And no, yeah, from the 15th of June,
Yeah.
we stayed at Kabuga. It was an area, a zone
Yeah.
secured by already RPF until the 4th of July.
So after the genocide, the liberation, now things have calmed down. At what point did you realize that you had lost your siblings, your parents?
During the genocide, when I was leaving Sehashka to come to Saint Famille, during on the street, Kimirongo, Chibagabaga, Remera were already captured or were under RPF hands. So I met someone. All those people who were killers came, they ran away from RPF, so they came in town. So I met someone who was a policeman and who was a neighbor. So he said, "How come we are still alive?" Because for him, he thought we were all killed.
Yeah.
But he said, I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to give you news. So he told me every single thing. He told me how they were killed, where they defend them,
He
even the
witnessed it.
dates.
He saw it.
Yeah, he was
Even
there.
the dates.
Yeah, he was there. He was killing him also.
He was killing.
Yeah, he was
and
a
he was
killer.
your neighbor.
Then he gave me all the information.
Yeah.
So by the time I reached Saint Famille, I knew everything. Who died, how they killed him or her, what, everything. How our houses were destroyed. I knew every single thing.
Yeah.
So then I agreed, I accepted that it's over. And I actually, before leaving the Sehashka, for me, I made like a decision or a promise that I'm not going to die. And then when he told me all that in every single details, it was like, okay, now I can die. But the voice stayed in me saying, do not accept to die. Why are you going to die? So that is the title.
That is the
Yeah.
title. Yeah. You say you will fight to stay alive.
To stay alive. For what, I don't know.
No. For the beauty
For
of life.
To tell the story.
Look at you witnessing the good.
Yeah, to tell the story, to tell Jackie, to tell the world that,
Exactly.
So the genocide for me was horrible.
Do you remember reconnecting with, or rather reuniting with the other siblings that were alive?
Yes, because the one who was sick,
Don't give it back.
stayed in Sehashka, and they went to Saint Famille. So later on, she was also evicted. So she came to Sainte Famille as well. So when I left Sainte Famille, she also left after, 2 weeks after. So she found me in Kabuga. So we were two.
Okay.
We had another sister who was a nurse. That one was working also in Sehashka. So at some point we were 3 sisters in Sehashka. But I was the most in danger because apparently I was looking more Tutsi than them. Because in 48 kilos, my dear, I was like, you know. Yeah. So I was looking as a Tutsi. So then I was evicted before. Yeah. And they at some point they thought I was killed. And when they see me every time, they say, ah, are you still alive? You know. So the big sister also went to, she was also evicted. She came, and the old sister, the nurse, went to Congo. And when she came back, she found us. Oh, wow. That was in August already. Yeah.
So it happened slowly by slowly. As we mark 30 years since then, given an opportunity, if somebody asked you to share what is in your heart, seated here right now, and we're looking 30 years back, you remember what you went through, how it was coming out of it, where you are today, what would be that thing that weighs in your heart?
I think it's a mixed emotions and the message. You know, I'm very happy of the life I have, and I'm so much very happy of the Rwanda today, you know, because I know the transformation and I know the efforts, and I see everyone, you know, how everyone worked hard to get there. But on the other side, I keep asking myself, was it really necessary to lose all of them to get here? You know, so it's a challenging and mixed thinking, because I would have wished to be here where we are, but with all of them.
With all of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it has been never easy for them, for our parents, who never told us, who never shared what they went through because of fear. And our generation, we lost. You know, they could be here also enjoying digital world like I do. Yeah. You know, they could be here enjoying seeing the unity and unified Rwanda. So it is, it's good. I'm happy, but still, was it really necessary to lose all of them and to go through what I saw, what all of us went through? It's it's something, you know.
Yeah. Later
I
on,
wish I wish everyone
things
would
were
have seen
different.
this. Yeah.
I agree with you. Later on, you met a wonderful man who swept you off your feet. You got married. You're a mother of 5.
Yes.
How is it for a genocide survivor to be raising these children? How has it been for you, and how do you avoid transferring some of the pain that you carried back then to them?
I think for every survivor having kids, before even we go to raising, having a kid brought me back to life. Wow. You know, it's like, oh, now I see the why, the purpose, why I didn't accept to die. At least I have a kid. It's like I wanted to have as many kids as possible. For me, it was like I'm replacing all of those.
God kept me alive to replace
all those that replace. It's an opportunity, it's a chance, it's a message back to life. You know, you are here now for a purpose. You're having kids. You are creating a new, you know, a new family.
Like for a survivor, giving birth is like them being born.
Yes, it's actually more important than raising them. You can even have him and don't raise them. He will survive. He will live. He will, you know, he or she will live.
Yes.
I can have birth and give you my baby. You know?
You can do that.
Having a kids for a survivor, for me, I started now realizing, oh, cool, I'm alive. Yeah. Now I started the new projects.
Yes.
So, okay, now because I have a kid, let me build a house. Because before I didn't see any reason. Yeah. Now because I have a kid, let me go back to school. Wow. Let me look for a better job, you know. Because now it gives all the reason to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a big achievement for me, is having kids. And then now raising them, knowing no one is going to, you know, to run after them.
Yeah.
to say you can't do this because no.
Because they're living in a better
Yeah, because they always say, Mom, we're going to do all sciences for you. Physics, chemistry, biology for you. Because
you were not allowed
yes,
to
you were so smart. You were so smart. Everyone tells us, we saw your reports, but they didn't give you physics. You don't even know what about physics. So we do it for you. You know, it's a continuation, it's a transmission. It's actually having an immortality in us.
Yeah.
So and
how's your relationship with them? Yeah.
They are my friends.
They're your friends.
They are my friends.
I see your pictures. I've seen
yeah,
you
they are
guys
my
together.
friends. They are my partners. We talk. We have fun. But I'm also strict on education, especially when it comes to schools. But still, all in all, I'm a very happy parent, mother, and my kids, all of them are my friends.
Yeah, and you allow them to do whatever. You have a musician in your family. You're grooming the next Aline son.
Alicia Keys?
And Alicia Keys and Celine Dion.
Yeah.
And Whitney Houston.
You know,
you're raising the next
so
superstar.
I like giving them chances, opportunities. You know, it gives you a lot of work and a lot of responsibility. But I also like to give them chances and to explore their potentials, and use their time, have fun, yeah. And also because I have been orphaned very early, so I also tend to maximize my time with them, because I don't want them to miss what I missed, So on a Saturday morning, I took one to football, another one to tennis, another one to music. It's like I'm very busy on weekends because of them. So people used to tell me a driver for them. One at Sacred Sportif for football, another one for karate in Nyarutarama, and another one going to library to read, So I try to.
And then you'll have to do another round of picking them.
And then in the evening, then we say everyone is tired on his plans, let's go for a movie. So I try to. They are my friends. Maximize time with the kids.
Time that you have with them.
Because after all, they will leave,
No doubt.
Now they have already.
And very soon they're already out for studies. Soon they'll get married and be gone.
And go. So we maximize our time together.
I know. Yeah. It's Women's Month, and indeed we've got to touch on that. Seeing that we've come a long way, 30 years, what would you say has been the journey for the Rwandan woman, and where do you see yourself or the Rwandan woman in the next 30 years?
Women demonstrated that they're very capable if they're given chances and opportunity. Unfortunately, it was not their choices, but I've seen them rebuilding the society, rebuilding the country in every single role. At some point in '94, just after the genocide, '94, '95, there was a lot of women, on the villages, and all the women were left alone. For some were widows, they have killed their husband. Some others were just because the husband are in prison, they committed the genocide. So all these together have to find a way to work together. So in an area where there are only women, they had to do every single thing, to build the houses, to go to find the money, to go for businesses for the first time in their life, to raise the kids, to take them to school, to be responsible. We are in a patriarchal society where even when something happens outside, the man would say, stay, I'm going to see. So when that man is no longer there, you do security guards in your house.
You want to go out.
Yes, you bring the bread on the table. You go meet the teachers of your kids. You go talk to the neighbor who is making noise. It's every single role came back to us. So that is when it started. We're capable. Yes, we are capable. So now, because we are capable, we are going to influence some changes in the laws. Some policies, some new laws had to be established because women are the client and they're there and they're capable. So I think the 30 years, women have shown they're capable, they're smart, they can do every single thing. And for the next 30 years,
Yeah.
we need to take more leadership role, but also don't forget to raise boys as feminists, as champions, as partners. I think as parents, as mothers, now we need to also focus on that. I don't want to see my boy, my son, tomorrow being a husband who is beating the wife, or who is, who is behaving like my wife will do everything for me. So it's a shared responsibility for all parents to bring a new generation, to bring up a new generation of young boys and girls who understand things and leave the theories in the books, go into actions. Yeah. So women are capable, women are smart, women can do things. Yes, it's really. I don't see anything a man can do that I can't do.
No, there's nothing. I agree with you. There's nothing.
There is nothing.
In fact, we'll do better than them.
Of course.
Yeah. Before we go to 6 Qs, let us talk about the inspiration behind the book. So you've gone through it. You are struggling to live with it.
Yeah.
What made you write it down?
I promised myself that if I survive, I will tell the story. And that was down back into the Seashka. And I didn't know how I was going to survive, because it was really very bad at that moment. Then at some point, I considered all what I went through, and that always left me alive. And I was like, okay, probably I can survive. So if I survive, I'll tell this and tell this and tell this. And then, you will see in the book, there was a night I was put in a mortuary to die inside. So I was like, this time, it is the last time. I did my last prayers. For me, I was going to die slowly and softly in there. And I didn't die. So I was like, when I didn't die, someone took me off in that night around 3 a.m. I said, now I know I'm going not to die. And it became very true that I was like hearing a voice telling me, no, do not accept to die. Even tomorrow, if they do this, do not accept to die. So it kept coming, and I said, okay, I won't die, and I'll tell the story. Then the project of the book, my kids started, Mom, can you tell us, they have seen me in every commemoration period. They see me, I'm always on leave. I do this and this and this. And it used to be very bad. I couldn't even go outside the house, So every time Mom, can you please share with us? And I would tell them, no, wait, you're still young. Wait, you're still young. I will tell you when you're 16. So then when the two first turned 16, okay, now Mom, you can talk. I said, no, wait for others. I will find an excuse to not tell. So then COVID came. But before COVID, I was writing. Like, I love writing. I'm a storyteller. So then I write like 10 pages and destroy them. I write again and destroy them.
Oh, gosh.
And Kwibuka 20, that was 2014. We had a woman magazine called the Diva. So that Diva, someone was looking for a survivor who is a woman and who was successful. They said, it's me. Because how can I be successful? They said, no, you are already doing 2 masters in the same time.
Yes.
You work for the World Bank. You have kids.
Very successful.
You're driving a nice car. For that man, it was that being successful.
Yes.
Can you please tell us, give us a page? Okay, I said, no problem, you come. So they came. We did a page. I was actually on front page.
Wow.
And successful survivor, telling her story. Then when I did, he told me, only this magazine, this one was finished in the stock. It gives you like a signal that you can write a book.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, that was 2014. And I said, yes, okay, I know, I will write it. Don't worry. COVID came. I had plenty of time, free time. That was number one option. I had to be busy. Like I told you before, I'm always busy. It's my rhythm, it's my normal
That's
day.
your way of life.
I cannot sleep 8 hours. That is not possible. So now the free time, days and night, okay, now I can write. I started thinking about it. Then I saw people dying of COVID. And I was like, so I can also die. Because of this is a pandemic. I'm no longer on a list to kill, but I'm on a list of potentials
Yep.
people can get COVID.
Yep.
So then I said, okay, that's a speed. That gives me
Let me
reason
do
to
it
do
very
it
fast.
quick.
Yes.
Every time I go watch the television, see number of the death in New York or
It'll
in
be
Spain,
gets to me, let me
okay,
write
I have to finish a chapter.
15
That same
pages.
night, I do a chapter. So by the end, so the first lockdown, I started, and in August I had already my draft.
Yeah.
4 of it.
Congratulations, you did
Thank
well.
you.
I was watching from
Thank
my
you very
distance,
much.
following every progress you made. And
Yeah.
you know, there's page 198, you talk about hope is the cure. Without a how-to manual, living the life of a survivor of the most horrific experience any human being could ever be exposed to, of being stripped of the right to be a human being, is challenging. To this day, that was 27 years after the end of the genocide, because that is when the book was written, there are survivors who have failed to bounce back to life. They remain haunted, walking around like empty shells. Even for those among us who have found reason to live again, there's a feeling of loss, of a capital stolen, and vigor shattered that we may never recover in this life. Why did you choose to write about hope? And you've called it the cure.
Yes. I decided to write about hope because for me it goes also with the title. Do not accept to die is a call, is a message. It's like I'm telling you guys, I'm telling the people who read the book to not give up.
Fight
to
on.
still have a hope for tomorrow. Tomorrow will always be there and will always be good, better than yesterday. So for me, hope is actually the essence. Is you know, if you lose hope, you lose life. You stop living. Yes.
Yeah, true.
So the hope that I can make a book during COVID made me do it. So to everyone, even if you go through another, you know, miserable, you know, something that
life
is
challenge.
Yeah, life challenge, like a divorce, like a loss of job, like loss of
a
money,
one.
a loss of someone you love. So all those put together can't kill you if you don't accept. So it's up to you. The motivation comes from within you. So you keep the hope to cure. You know, hope is the remedy, is the solution to everything happening. And those things happening to you, you don't have control, but you have the control on how you go, how you deal with them because of your hope, your motivation, your love of life, you know. So it's it goes with the title, and also it is a message to everyone going through hard time. Yeah.
Should we expect a second book to come out?
Yeah, of
course. Are you working on a second one?
Yes, I'm first translating this.
Yes,
because
you're
it was
translating
it was a very big success.
So so far we have English and French.
Yes.
You're translating it into other
German.
languages?
German is coming in April.
German is coming in April.
Yes,
Amazing.
and audiobook. And audiobook.
And audiobook as
yes.
well. Oh,
yeah. So that
well
is
done.
that is two projects making me busy this time, audio and German. So, but after that, I also want to do Hebrew and Swahili and
Hebrew and Swahili. No, this needs to be in as many languages as possible.
Yes,
that word has to spread around.
You know, I was thinking of 5 languages, but yesterday I saw Gael Fai's book in 40 languages. 40. So I was like, oh, okay. If I can do 5, someone can do 40. So why not 10? Yeah.
I wish you all the best with that.
Thank you so much, Jackie.
Dimitrie, let's have a look at 6 Qs. These will be quick questions. We will fly through the answers. Dimitrie's 6 Qs. Question number 1. What do you do for self-care?
Sports.
Do you have a favorite sport?
Walking.
Walking. Good. What word would best describe you? A single word.
Hard worker.
Hard worker.
Yes.
Busy body.
Yeah, very.
Very
Actually,
busy.
it's busy.
It's busy. Busy working hard. I guess it's all
hard work.
And then what is that thing that people don't know about you? Let's make them know it.
I love being a DJ.
You love being it. Have you DJed before?
Yeah, a lot of time.
At events?
Yes.
Family
events. No, family events for now.
Dimitrie, like you know how to scratch that disc. Okay, that I didn't know either. Then my 4th question, what has been the highlight of your career so far? And you've had a really good career, my goodness.
International.
You know? Yeah?
Um,
How has it been? Like, the highlight, what would you say? My work life, this has been the best thing about it.
Diversity.
Diversity.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
If
you've
it has
had
to be
that.
one word.
For sure. You've had that, yes. And any hobbies or activities that you are passionate about?
Music.
Music.
Yeah.
You
it's my
love
hobby.
music.
A lot.
Mm. And lastly, what would you say to 20-year-old Dimitrie?
Thank you for not giving up.
Yes. The world got to experience you.
Yeah. Because if I had given up, I would have.
To be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already. So that same message that told you not give up, tomorrow will be better, keep going, you know. So today I'm very happy and I still keep going
Yeah.
because I will see other things that are exciting and interesting in the future.
Thank you, Dimitrie. We commemorate 30 years, the genocide against the Tutsi. What message do you have for somebody that is watching?
I will tell people to learn about what happened in Rwanda, the genocide, and to the young generation, you know, 30 years already is a generation, is another generation, to not take anything they see today for granted, but also to be more responsible citizens and prevent any conflicts, but also work for unity and reconciliation for this nation. So that would be my message, because people need to be agent of change, to not take things they see for granted, and also to do anything they can for that peace and that unity that we have, so that they never again seriously becomes a reality in Rwanda. Because I don't want you or anyone else to see what I saw. So it's really very, I wish no one have seen it. But we are there, we saw it, we share.
Now your prayers that no one else ever gets to see it.
No one.
Yeah.
Especially any kids, even any vulnerable groups like women and kids. So we really need to be protected somewhere, somehow, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dimitrie.
Thank you, Jackie.
That's a powerful message. It has been a pleasure sitting down with you.
So
Thank you
much.
for sharing your story with us.
Yeah, thank you.
It has been such a pleasure for me to bring you this conversation, and thank you for keeping us company. I do hope that you have learned something. Dimitrie has talked about hope, and she said you could be going through whatever you're facing today, but she needs you to realize that it's not permanent.
Yeah.
Tomorrow promises to be a better day. And once you stop being hopeful, then you've stopped living. We don't want that for you. Thank you. Share this link because we are live on Rwanda Television YouTube channel. Share that link so that we have our friends and family enjoy the conversation. We do wish you well. We will see you next week. God bless you.